Hello, I'm Julie Peel. I'm a potter working in Walton-on-Thames in my studio, and I make functional ware in stoneware and porcelain. I started in ceramics when I was at school, like lots of people. I had a fantastic teacher and the school had really wonderful facilities, so I was very lucky. I've done ceramics ever since then, but it's not easy making a living out of craft, so I'm afraid it had to take a back seat a lot of the time. I did a diploma course with London Guildhall a few years ago and had some exhibitions in a studio then. But really it's been the past 3 years when I've been able to dedicate a lot more time to my ceramics. The very first piece I made was a horrible lumpy pinch pot. But the second piece I made was a really lovely frog. I was only 14, I've still got my frog. It's all blue and green and white, and it props up the books on my bookshelf. I enjoy hand building because it's very meditative, but it is quite slow. Another method is to use kurunuki, which is a Japanese, traditional Japanese method. And what you do is you take a block of clay, you carve the outside, and then you carve out the inside. So a little like a sculptor would use a piece of stone. My main inspirations come from the northeast coast where I spent most of my childhood, and from Japan because there were quite a lot of Japanese artefacts in the house as I was growing up. So I spent a long time on the beach, and I make things related to the sea. In particular, these are my seagrass vessels. We've really run down the seagrass meadows around our coast, and they're so important for carbon capture. So I make these to raise awareness of that issue, and also I do make a donation to Project Seagrass for every one of these that I sell. These are little coral pods, and these represent the little tiny pods that corals produce when they are releasing their seed into the ocean. So a lot of my work is inspired by the sea. But I'm also inspired by the Japanese aesthetic, and this quite well represents it. The kurunuki, which I talked about earlier, is a Japanese technique, and these forms and also this kind of iron glaze is very much a Japanese inspired decoration technique. I make all my own glazes, and they're all to my own recipe. I don't know if I've had really a favourite, although I think probably that this glaze that I call lichen is at the moment my favourite glaze. This is the Community Clay Project. I thought it was a wonderful opportunity during lockdown to offer local people the chance to use clay and take part in this exhibition. I produced clay for them, they took it away, took it home, watched the videos I'd made for them to show them how to do hand building, and then they brought them back and I fired them and glazed them. So there's a vast range of abilities, but there are some really lovely pieces of work, especially from people who haven't worked in clay before.